Damn it. Oh,
What?
well, I hit the return key. Damn it. Oh.
What?
Well, I hit the return key.
It disappears. Here he comes. You're muted.
All right, there you go.
What's up, glitchy? Here he comes. You're muted.
Turn this up. All right, there you go.
Moving right along.
So yeah, I need to update that title since it says the Thrash Report Live
Epicenter. On YouTube.
Yeah. Do. Dude, now I got Testament stuck in my head.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's good. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I need to write my note in here, otherwise I won't know what I'm saying. All right. Welcome to episode 68 of the Thrash Report for November 10th, 2021. This is your weekly music commentary podcast where we discuss all things metal and heavy music. My name is Chris, and joining me, my co-host, partner in crime, Jim Osborne. Jim, what's going on, buddy?
You want to hear a poem I wrote in first grade?
Yeah, I love poems. Yeah.
It fits the time of year. So I was in first grade, I wrote this. No leaves, no flowers, no fruit, November.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty, it's pretty deep, buddy.
It is deep.
It makes me think. Did you hear about the two criminals that stole my calendar?
No.
I hope they both get 6 months.
Nice.
Hey man,
Beauty.
we got some good headlines.
Yeah, what are we doing? A podcast. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show.
We got we're gonna talk, and actually we're gonna get into some of the stories we're gonna talk about because I have some feelings about it.
Yes.
Something comes back, like, well, I want to say come back from the dead, but basically something's back, which something that was very near and dear as I was in freshman in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I would read it all the time. Dude, our concert calendars are filling up quick, and then we jump back in the day. Something turned 40 years old. It's going to be crazy.
And then we come back to current day with some new thrash.
Trash it up, dude. Let's go ahead and get rolling. What
Yeah.
What do we got cooking, man?
I wanted to start with some friends of our show, former guests, two of the dudes from Hex Vortices, also in the band Thor. But there's a new project called Gallow Glass Scourge. So it's featuring Tom Croxton and Matt Hamilton. And it's melodic death metal. They have an upcoming album called Silence that they're hoping will be out by the end of the year, 2021. And how it came about, I guess, is that Tom heard a bunch of Matt's unwritten stuff that he had from either other bands or just stuff he had, not unwritten, of course it's written, but unrecorded.
Unreleased.
Unreleased, unrecorded, yeah. Right. But yeah, so Tom thought it was pretty cool, wanted to move it forward. And they say it's for fans of Amorphous, Bellicor, Insomnium, Swallow the Sun. So
Oh,
I will
cool.
keep an ear out for that. So they're obviously great musicians and have had some success in their bands, and looking forward to hearing it. So keep an eye out for Gallow Glass Scourge.
Nice. Absolutely, I will. And we'll make sure that we keep any updates right here on the podcast. And actually, didn't I hear man, I read on social, I think, also a previous guest on the show and friend, Natanic, said
Mhm.
he's really getting itchy for some thrash too, right?
Yes.
So,
Yep, he's posted a couple things after seeing moving. He moved to the Twin Cities and has been seeing a bunch of local bands and just kind of giving him the itch to start a band. He said he wants to do some thrash, and I know he's doing some black metal stuff. So yeah, looking forward to that. Hopefully something comes out of that too.
cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot kind of cooking in these local metal scenes, man. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's cool. What what's going on with this horror movie? What's up with this?
Yeah, new movie. It's like a horror comedy that the Foo Fighters are writing and acting in. It's called Studio 666 and Open Road Lands. Theatrical release starring Foo Fighters, as I said, and they star in a film that they shot in secret about what happens when the legendary rock band rents an Encino mansion steeped in grisly rock and roll history to record their 10th album. But the trouble is, frontman Dave Grohl is creatively blocked, and when evil forces in the house sink into his consciousness, the creative juices begin flowing, but so does the blood. Can Foo Fighters complete the album with the band still alive to tour?
Dude, that's so funny.
I would check that out.
Heck yeah. Studio 666.
Yep, and it sounds almost like a Spinal Tap thing on Black Sabbath. I know reading the Sabbath book a few years ago, they were talking about recording in a haunted mansion or haunted castle or something, but I don't know, might be a combination of a bunch of their stories.
Yeah, yeah. It's brought to us by Open Road Films. Looks like that they acquired the worldwide rights. Dude, say that 3 times really, really fast.
Pass.
Um, and they're going to do a wide theatrical release in about 2,000 movie theaters or so. We are set for February, the end of February 2022.
Creepiest month of the year.
It'll be good, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies, can I talk about this one?
Yeah, this is news to me.
Yeah, there's a new movie out there, and it's called Death to Metal. Believe it or not, it's called Death to Metal.
That sounds scary.
Treat Satan as an inspiration. I would single-handedly send them straight to hell.
It literally is a movie where a priest basically goes through some freak accident and is transformed into some mutated killing machine, and he's on a mission to kill the godless fans of heavy metal music.
Oh my God. But we believe in Ozzy and Lemmy.
I know. So this is called Death to Metal. It's a horror comedy set to be streaming on all platforms next month. And the tagline: "He has died, he is risen, he will kill." So check out that one. It's good.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have some shitty news too.
Yeah, man.
It's been all over the place lately. Was it last Friday, the first night of the 2-night show, the Astro World tragedy in Houston?
That's right.
Yeah, and where do you start? I mean, there's so many storylines with this one. This, is it oversold? You got people rushing the security gates. You got obviously the people rushing the stage, and
Yeah, at this point, there's been 8 deaths. All victims have been identified. There's 35 plaintiffs now in lawsuits against Travis Scott and the production company that were holding the show. And it's not only the concert producers, but it's also the venue. Live Nation Entertainment, Scoremore Holdings, were the two production and entertainment companies that organized and produced the event. They're being sued, as well as the performers, right? And this is, so that's the thing. I just wonder, like, do we know, was it truly like the space they had? I'm sure there's a lot of safety and health concerns that they bring in when they're building this event, when they're planning this event. You would think they would need, the planners, the city planners, fire department, like whatever, to come in and vet that you're going to have 30,000 people, 50,000 people, that the space is big enough or something. I don't know. I don't know where this broke.
Mhm.
Obviously, like you said, you got crazy fans, jumping gates and flying through VIP lanes and stuff. But like, I remember an outdoor show. I think it was at Float Right Park. It was the Metallica show, I think, with Suicidal and Danzig. But I was right up there at the stage, and I remember being so packed that, I mean, you couldn't move. It was hard to breathe. And I remember you'd get hundreds of people all kind of like falling at once, and your legs are like being bent. And there was times when I was genuinely frightened that I'm going to get hurt. Like, I'm seriously going to get hurt. And I just don't know. I was reading a story where, fans had fallen to the ground, getting trampled and stuff. I just, we just came out of a fucking pandemic. We're happy to go to live shows, and then this shit happens. That's why I'm so fucking pissed about it. Anyway.
Yep. And then you got people placing blame all around too. And there's, of course, the whack-out stories that you got people saying it's a Satanist thing. There's conspiracies going out there that there's so many portals opening to hell that weekend. They showed a lot of images. And, yeah, like they would show the back of the stage and how it looks like a portal. And then like some of the band name logos are portals, and these idiots thinking that it's some kind of a portal to hell that all these evil music lovers are opening up. And one thing I have seen a lot of those metal people sharing their stories of, we've all seen it in the mosh pit. Someone goes down, things kind of stop in that area, and
Yep.
that person gets helped up, and then continues. And a lot of footage coming out of like Avenged Sevenfold when M Shadows stopped the show because someone was getting in a fight with someone or just being an asshole, and they kicked him out. And even when we saw Lamb of God in early September,
That's right.
they stopped between songs and it was just black, and the band wasn't doing anything. And then Randy came out and just said, bear with us, we got a little delay right now, there's something happening out in the crowd. And then minute 2 goes by and he comes out and says, someone had a seizure, so thanks for your patience, we'll get back to playing in just a few minutes. And, they came back, they cheered the announcement, and then they came back and everything was fine.
Exactly. And I think that is some of the concern here too, is that even though they had, emergency vehicles present, there was something going on, the show still was continuing to perform. But also, though, I can't find, it all depends on what you read, right? But like when I first heard about it, they said that while Travis Scott was performing, he did stop several times and asked people to be careful and not get hurt, and let people know that it was, there's an issue, right? So I don't know. I
haven't heard that. I just saw a lot of people trashing him for not stopping the show, and then you hear that, and then you hear people saying that the crowd might have gotten more wild or had a riot if he stopped. I could see it if they canceled, like the Metallica Guns N' Roses shit in Montreal, where they rioted after the show was called off. But I mean, you at least got to try, I think, to stop the music, stop everything. It's just so I don't know, just slow things down, or I don't know, but there's a lot of angles to it, it seems, and I don't know. We don't know a lot yet, I don't think, as far as what actually happened. So,
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, it was great that we're having live music back, but then if this is, due to poor planning, is it because we just came out of the pandemic and we were quick to organize or something? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what, they were there to have a good time, and then this turns crazy, right? Um, I will say that um, they did come out and say that Scott released a statement, basically saying that he's absolutely devastated by what took place, and my prayers go out to the families and all impacted by what happened at the Astroworld Festival. I believe he has also said, it's not in this article I'm looking at here, but he will again cover all funeral costs for those that have died. And
Mhm.
yeah, they
Yeah, I
said
did
that.
that.
Yeah, and on top of that, on top of the 8 people that died, I think there's been about 30 people that say that they're experiencing some pretty harsh, like, mental trauma after being crushed and unable to breathe. And I could see that it could have some, some PTSD or something. But
Sure.
yeah, they went on to say that while it was going on, they wanted to make it clear that they were unaware there were any fatalities then. But that's not an excuse. Like,
Right.
I mean, if you clearly see emergency vehicles and shit's not right, like, stop the
Yeah.
show. I don't know. At least, like, I don't know, I could go on for hours, but I want this to, I guess, be an example. But also I don't want it to then now have future shows ridiculously locked down in some way and avoids us from having a good time. You know what I mean?
Yep. I got you.
I
Let's
mean,
just have fun.
that's just the thing. I mean, 50,000 people, well, crap, you talked about your shitty Knotfest experience where they
Yep.
weren't ready for 30,000 people.
Right.
And that's where I'm just wondering, at Energy Park, were they not ready for 50,000 people? Did they not have facilities to handle that many people? Did they not have the security or law enforcement there to handle people? I would assume not. I mean, how would you, if you get hundreds of people jumping over barricades, you're never going to have enough cops.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I wish, again, all of our best go out to the families that have lost loved ones. We really do. Our heart goes out to them. It's sad that this had to happen. And hopefully it's an example of, let's make things better for the future so that fans can have a good time, man.
Yep. I agree. So, yep. Awful. So,
Yeah, this next one is it's interesting because I used to read this every day. Metal Edge magazine, right?
yeah.
Well, they're back.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that it's funny because they actually posted the end of October, they posted something that said, hey, we're coming back. And, it basically kind of teasing that they were coming back, right?
Mhm.
And it says, we're the iconic 80s metal mag, coming very soon. Visit our open for business Metal Edge store, fully stocked and ready to rock. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, they couldn't hold the secret very long because basically that same night, it's like we went public. Not only is Metal Edge magazine back, but they're proud to have joined the Project M Media family. And those of you who aren't familiar, that's the company that owns tons of media brands, including Revolver, right? Goldmine Music Collection, Inked Magazine, Brooklyn Vegan, and The Hard Times. So this is a pretty good media company that has several brands. So it's kind of cool that they are now bringing under their wing, and we're going to see a lot of other news stories, other things, as well as merch, right? From the Metal Edge brand. So it's kind of cool. I like it when, because they stopped publishing the printed magazine in 2007, which totally understand. But it feels good to have them back as one of those metal sources, right? Metal news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to read that all the time, so it's gonna be cool.
I used to read it in what's called Squirt. I think in 8th grade. Yeah, 8th grade, we had something called Squirt. And it was every morning we'd go into homeroom and we'd have super quiet, uninterrupted reading time. Squirt.
Nice.
And I used to read Metal Edge magazine.
That's awesome.
Cool, man. What else we got? What are we cooking?
Yeah, I think that's it for headlines. So new releases. I think the biggest thing right now is Slipknot has debuted a new song called
No.
Rag. Yep.
Yeah. It's good. Makes me happy.
Yeah, I haven't heard much else besides, a few months ago we heard they were working on new stuff, but I know this just dropped last week out of the middle of nowhere, and I don't know if there's anything else coming. Well, obviously there's something coming, but how much and when, I have not heard.
Yeah, exactly. I think, there's been tons of things kind of circling the interwebs about fans, being prepared, ready for new Slipknot. And if this is a taste, it'll be pretty good. So I'm excited, man. Hopefully it knocks my sack off. So that's right. It's been a while, dude. And actually, so I never thought this would happen. So my son, we don't really have the same musical tastes. Definitely have some differences there. But the other day he comes in and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I got a band for you." And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he sent me a link, and it's a band called No Sons of Mine. And I was like,
Sons of Mine.
"Yeah, okay, I'll check it out." And it actually was pretty awesome. Check this out. Yeah, and that's just a taste. They have a couple other like pretty fast thrashy stuff. Vocals are pretty much all the same. But the interesting thing, they've released several singles and an EP. And every time they release something, they release the song, then they release the song as an instrumental version with no vocals, which
That's
I'm like,
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's something different. And then I was doing some research. This is one guy from Sweden, Sven, that's doing everything. And pretty cool. All the releases I could find were from 2020. No Sons of Mine. Check them out. It's pretty cool. We'll have links in the show notes, but it was cool. I let my kid know, "Hey man, wherever you found that, thanks for sharing." That's what that's all about, man. Sharing music, dude.
Keep it up.
Yep.
Nice work. Yeah, and then in book news, our dude Frank Bello has released a book called Fathers, Brothers, and Sons: Surviving Anguish, Abandonment, and Anthrax. And I haven't read it yet. I plan to. He has an interview going all week with Jose on Liquid Metal. I haven't heard that one yet. I think it just came out today, Wednesday. But you may have already bought this.
I did. I bought it during the episode last week, I think.
Yeah.
And anyway, but yeah, I pre-ordered it, and it showed up on my phone yesterday. So I have not yet listened to it, but I'm excited to give it a go.
And I
Yeah, I'm
think
excited because
does
it's
he narrate it himself too?
supposed to be really good. Yes, it is. Yep.
Ah,
Yeah,
awesome.
and the forward is by Gene Simmons. I don't know if he is reading it, but I know the forward is by Gene Simmons, which is pretty badass.
I'd like to give Gene Simmons a tongue twister. See how he'd do. Say this, Gene.
That's right. Dude, we got oh, speaking of which, man, did you hear that? Speaking of Kiss, they just canceled their residency in Vegas.
I had not heard that.
Yeah, and they're like, they haven't really given a reason why, but people close to the situation said it was soft ticket sales. What?
Really?
Yeah, that was yeah, I can't remember where I heard that, but yeah.
Yeah, it seems strange. Maybe
Yes.
everyone's seen them already enough.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. What else was I gonna? Oh, dude, our concert calendar, our list is huge.
It's thick. Yeah, so I wanted to start off with
Why was that so funny?
I don't know, maybe you're overtired.
It's thick.
Yeah, so it's been announced that our friends in Extinction AD are doing another tour after they start their next one in a week, I think, or the first one in a week. Then they're done with that. Early next year, they're going around with Cattle Decapitation, The Last 10 Seconds of Life, Extinction AD, and Creeping Death.
Nice.
So they're having a stop in Minneapolis on February 1st. I plan on going to that one.
Cool, man. Dude, my Extinction AD shirt showed up.
Nice.
I bought a shirt after listening to him, like
Mhm.
they were on. Dude, it's fucking awesome. Dude, that
Yeah.
video is freaking great, man. For Illusion, they're like,
Yep.
well,
Road raging.
it's like half they're in the car and then half they're not. And when they show it like a Matchbox car going around the curve.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, wouldn't it be fun to make a video? We'd be hilarious. With you, your creative genius, we'd be doing all sorts of shit.
Read more poetry.
Yeah, so it'll be cool show February 1st. I gotta make sure I get that on my where's it gonna be? Do you know?
Turf Club.
Oh, yep. Okay. Which is interesting. I thought maybe they rebuilt. I don't know. Why do I think the turf club burned down?
Because there's no trees, just turf.
I don't know. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, then we've got beginning of December, getting into the Christmas season. We've got some New York death metal. I think that's what NYDM is, right? But they do a Toys for Tots fundraiser, and they've got one in Wisconsin that I've seen and one in Minneapolis. Wisconsin is December 4th at the Wisco in Madison, and the bands will be Cast in Fire, Toxic Ruin, Squid Hammer, and Curb Stomp. And the last one being Curb Stomp. And then Friday, December 3rd, Club Underground in Minneapolis. Deterioration, our friends in Glutton for Punishment. Pursuit, we've mentioned them before. Echoes of the Fallen and Volsunga Saga.
That's awesome. Go out there, show your horns, and bring a toy.
Yep, I'm hoping to make that Minneapolis one.
Dude, I'll get it on the calendar, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of shows showing up here. We got newly announced Killswitch Engage with August Burns Red and Light the Torch. That's coming to the Fillmore here in Minneapolis on March 13th. We have Dragon Force with guests Battle Beast at First Avenue. That's on March 25th. A band I really dig, All That Remains. They're coming to the Skyway Theater March 31st. It's their 15th anniversary of Fallen Idols, I think. I don't really remember the names of their albums, but anyway, I'm super stoked. I'm a huge fan of them. Seen them live. They're really, really good. So also we talked about Bruce Dickinson's spoken word tour. He's going to be here in Minneapolis at the State Theater. No, on the yeah, some other theater.
Pandemic Theater, Pantages.
The Pangaeus Theater. And that's on February 13th. And I'm excited to go see him just talk shit. Dude, you know what? I listened to his brand new podcast.
Mhm.
He's got this brand new podcast that's something goofy. What is it called? Loco something. I don't know. But like today, so there was like him and this other dude that's like some doctor or something, like PhD, not that kind of doctor, like a doctor, like has a doctorate. But then they had like a guest on there and they were talking like about like the meaning of 666 and the number of the beast and a bunch of philosophy around the end of the world, and that there's actually people that study the end of the world. They actually had a name for it. I'm too dumb and don't remember, but it was, it's an hour-long podcast just getting super deep and philosophizing about shit. And it'd be fun, but I just don't get that kind of time. I got other things I got to do. I got 4 books that I'm started. I got to listen to.
Yep.
Anyway, I think it's fun just listening to 3 dudes with accents.
Yeah. I could probably do 3 dudes with accents. One-man show.
That's right.
Maybe a different day.
A different day. Dude, let's go ahead and trip us up with some trivia.
Yeah, so haven't gotten to the topic yet, but that's coming up in our Back in the Day. I'm going to talk about Diary of a Madman by Ozzy Osbourne. On the album cover of Diary of a Madman, there's a small child in the background. Do you know who that is?
Oh, gosh. I do not.
That is his, at the time, 4-year-old son, Louis, Ozzy's son.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so as I mentioned back in the day, Ozzy Osbourne Diary of a Madman came out 40 years ago, November 7th.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the best albums of all time. And those first 2 Ozzy solos and with Randy Rhoads, I mean, Blizzard of Oz right into Diary of a Madman. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know. There aren't many combinations of a 1-2 album better than this.
Yep. It's one of the best things that happened, right? I mean, in music. It's super cool. Man, just think if we wouldn't have lost Randy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like he probably wouldn't have continued touring. I think the tour he was on when he died, I think he was planning on that being his last one because he didn't want to have that rock star life. He wanted to get more into teaching more instead of performing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and like I think this was in Ozzy's book. He was talking about how every stop they took, whether it was in Ozzy's band or Quiet Riot or whoever he was with, they would stop in whatever town and he'd seek out a guitar teacher and go take a lesson. And I think his mom had a school that taught music. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. And then another story is that I think Randy was playing something and Ozzy walked by and heard it and said, "What is that? We got to nick that." Like, that's Mozart. Like, sweet, we got to nick Mozart. Like, no, you can't nick Mozart. So I think Ozzy kind of asked him to write something classical like that. And I think that's what became the song Diary of a Madman.
Got it.
Which is one of the best ever.
I think I did read that Zach's now going to be on Ozzy's next album. Oh, yeah. I think the original, I think we heard a few weeks ago that he was going to be in his band, like touring band for the next album. But okay. I think it's now been stated that he's actually going to be on the album as well.
Cool.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he's another master.
Dude, he was such a pretty boy back then. Like when he first joined, like No Rest for the Wicked, this young kid, like
Yeah,
big hair and clean shaven.
I think he was 20 or maybe 22.
Yeah, it's like what
Joining,
do you?
can you imagine joining Ozzy Osbourne's band when Ozzy was what 40 something and you're 20?
Right?
Yeah, crazy, but no, he did awesome in that.
Well, I
No
wonder.
Rest for the Wicked is one of my favorites.
Oh, totally. Well, actually, how old is Ed? Ed, what the hell am I talking about? How old is Faulkner? I can't think of his first name. Faulkner from Judas Priest. I thought he was like 20 years younger than like, KK or Glenn, right?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
And then he's the one that had the freaking heart attack. So you never really know.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go ahead and jump into today in the day. What do you got?
Day in the day. Yeah, we had some bands or members of bands reach out to us to see if we'd check them out and talk about them. So first one is a band called Solar End from Brainerd or Central Minnesota. And they have a single out now called Dreg, D-R-E-G. And it's coming from their upcoming debut album, Subhuman Born. Not sure when I didn't see when they're planning on having that come out, but I listened to Dreg. I liked it. It's got a nice tempo, cool groove.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think it's again, thank you for reaching out to us. We really do appreciate it. And we want to definitely help those,
Yep. When it gets closer to release date, if we find that out, we'll keep you updated.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then another band called Manic from Charlotte, North Carolina. They have a single out, released on Halloween or right about Halloween. It's on Bandcamp, and the song is called Halloween. They're looking for their first full length to be released in early 2022. So that's Manic from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Should we give them a listen?
Let's do it.
I'll try. I need my interwebs are not working. Yeah, it's not working. There we go. It looks like a movie. Hold on.
Yeah, they have a couple videos out for it.
Say sorry, I didn't have this queued up ahead of time. Dude, that's badass. Dude, that's nice and thrashy, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. And that is Manic from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yep.
Awesome. How did we find that? How did you find that?
Our Facebook Messenger, they sent us a message, asked us to check it out.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yep. So you can check them on Facebook and Bandcamp, probably other places as well.
Absolutely.
And again, same with them. We'll let you know if we hear updates, and we'll remind you when it comes up.
Heck yeah. I wanted to you got some great follow-ups here from our recent guests that we had on Agony Reigns. They have that show coming up this Saturday. Yep. And I really wish I could be here. I'm actually not going to be in town Saturday. I'm going to be in Cincinnati, so I will miss it. So that bums me out, but I'll make sure that I check them next time. I got to get them. I really want to see Agony Reigns.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yep. Ever
Hopefully-
since you turned, that was like one of the first bands ever. Like when you and I started talking, this was one of the first bands you like said, "Hey, you got to check these guys out." I was like, "Cool."
Yeah, like I said last week, there's kind of a buzz around them. People are paying attention and checking them out, and they're gonna go places. I think new album is awesome. So make sure to check the album out too. It comes out Saturday, and if you go to the show, they'll give you a free copy of the CD. I believe they said if they run out of CDs, they'll give you a digital download.
That's awesome. How cool is that?
Super, super cool.
And we want to take this time to thank everybody for listening. We really do appreciate it. Thanks everyone for their support. Again, you can always reach out to us at thethrashreport@gmail.com. You can hit us up on all the socials. You can find those at thrashreport.com. And, we want to, interact with you guys, man. Let us know what you like. If you come across something that you think is rad, let us know. We want to share the fun with everyone else. So,
For sure.
Thanks everybody. Dude, I just saw that we got our boy Mudcats in there. We got Andy's in there.
Yep. Andy says that Faulkner was 41 when he joined.
Really? Wow. I thought he was like 25 or some shit. Anyway, thanks everybody for your support. We will see you next time on the Thrash Report. See ya.
Thank you. See ya.